What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Just Dev TV. Thank you guys for stopping by. We're gonna talk about. I got a little gnat in here that I cannot get rid of, but we're gonna talk about the Braxton's episode 3 and episode 4. So the ladies, they out having brunch. Mama Tina, Mama Braxton, Trina, and Tawanda. And Tawanda gets a call from little Kevin in prison. They finally found out what he is charged with. His charges related to stemming from his divorce, his current divorce from his wife. His current wife's he failed to appear. Um, you know, um they're saying his dad looked into everything, but he's in Maryland, so it's nothing they could really do. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna take a trip out there probably later and go see him. Mama, Mama, uh, she Mama Braxton thinks that the loss of his mother is kind of what's causing all of his issues because he's been having a lot of issues lately, and she thinks that is what is a stem of his issues. She's really struggling. She needs help, like I told y'all before, and she needs time. Time heals all wounds, and I feel like that's gonna help her overcome. But it's really affecting her mental. Mama wants to leave them to their own vices. She said they all grown. They all got to figure it out on their own. She's not taking the weight or the burden off of nobody. She's not trying to fix their relationships either. They gonna do what they gonna do. They're gonna move how they gonna move, and she's not getting involved. That's it. And she says she just wants them to do pretty much what Tracy asked them to do and get along and love each other and be with one another. So Tony meets up with her manager and her music supervisor because she wants the Vegas show to be. The Vegas show is starting soon. She wants the Vegas show to go smoothly. She's concerned about her health conditions, and they want to make sure also that everything is going to be okay. They want to put things in place so that just in case she has an episode, that they will make sure that she is okay and they can get her the help that she needs. And if they need to stop the show, they will stop the show, just in case she has a lupus flare up or, something happens with her heart or whatever. They just want to plan ahead and make sure everything is good. Good. Um, Mama Braxton and Tamar, they kind of like talking, and Tamar feels like she needs to pick up the pieces because her mom is alone and she needs to make sure that she's okay. They discuss the cooking show and how that is going. They kind of like wrapping things up and taping the final show. Trina kind of joins them for the final show, and it's all good. Everything is everything. You know, everything is everything. Tamar's in the confessionals talking about how she is writing a book. And I'm just like, my question is, are y'all going to are y'all going to read that book? Are y'all going to buy that book? Are y'all going to read that book? Tamar is currently online, spiraling out of control about her and her boyfriend JR and the stuff that they doing going back and forth, and the fact that she married him after he done ate Tommy's booty, and he was cheating on her with this little 22-year-old or 25-year-old or something 20-something-year-old, and she's currently online spiraling out of control. Are y'all gonna read that book? Do y'all care enough? Because I know I'm not gonna read that book. I don't really care enough. I already told y'all how I feel about her, and I don't think my opinion is going to change anytime soon. She is an attention seeker, and she needs a lot of therapy, like I told y'all before. So, Turner's at rehearsal, child. She's getting it in. She's trying to make sure her choreography is great. She making sure that everything is going to be precise on the stage. She is tightening things up and shoring things up, child. She want to make sure that show is great and she don't lose it, and she gets paid for it, child. She gets paid for the show. I mean, I feel like they did the show one. I feel like they're using not Trina. I feel like they're using Tracy as a scapegoat for everything else that they want to do with the show, to get back the show, to get their stuff rolling and popping. I just feel like they just using her name and her, what happened to her to make a bigger impact, because I feel like they know that Tracy had a lot of people that loved her. They loved her her attitude, they love what she brought, and I feel like they're just using that. But that's just my opinion. Who am I? It's my opinion. That's just how I feel. Trina is headed to grief counseling, her grief counseling session. She knows that she needs work, and she knows that she needs to work on some things. But she didn't know that she needed this much work until she started filming the show and actually had the conversation with the grief counselor initially. It all has to come out soon. You feel the spiral when you feel the spiral. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you just got to deal with it until you feel the spiral. But it's glad to be caught, and that she's going to work on doing the changes, what she needs. Um, she says she wants to shut down, but she really can't. She feels like she lost control of her thoughts, and she lost it a long time ago. Um she really can't sleep. Uh there's a lot of stuff going on. She says she feels like her husband made her feel bad for grieving for Gabe when he passed away. Like that he's grieving for another, like she was grieving for another man. And I'm just like, it's not the same, because he's not here anymore. So it's not the same. Two, she was married to this guy for a long time. He helped her raise her kids. I think they had kids together, or whatever the case may be is. But at some point, that's just like saying, if you as a husband had an ex-wife and she passed away, and then Trina made you feel guilty for grieving your ex-wife. It's the same thing. You cannot really do that. And people grieve differently. And it's not like she's grieving him because she wants to get back with him. He's gone. She should be allowed to grieve in a proper way. But I feel like I felt the dynamic between her and her husband was a little bit crazy from the beginning. When I first seen him pop on the scene and they were just in the kitchen kicking it, I was just like, it's something about this dynamic that's not sitting well with me. But that was just my take. That's just my take on it. I just didn't like the dynamic that they had exchanged when um that first encounter with him. I was just like, something ain't right. This ain't right. Excuse me. Um, she says they come and visit her in her dreams often. And she says sometimes she feels like she doesn't want any of them to come and visit her because she just wants peace. And I'm just like, it's hard when you grieving somebody and you going through something. It's a lot. Because when my mom first passed, she used to come to me in my dreams a lot. The only person that never really came to me was my brother, but my sister too. She used to come to me in my dreams too. Not so much now, but I get what she's saying. It's a lot. It's just a lot that she has to work through. But I'm just glad she's taking the steps to do the right thing. She says she just wants to live a normal life. And it's really hard for her to do that right now. So I'm hoping that she gets all the help that she needs, that she continues to do the sessions and make the progress. She said it makes her feel sad, and she gets emotional and fearful when she closes her eyes to go to sleep. So that's why she hasn't really been sleeping, you know, because it makes her think who's going to be next sometimes and what's going to happen. And this part when she was talking to the therapist kind of resonated with me. I literally just had this conversation with my sister because I feel like at this point everybody's hanging by a string, and everybody's grasping at straws, and I feel like they need to be able to get it out and express how they feel so that they could be at peace with themselves as well. And I feel like you need a trust factor, and a lot of times you don't. And I think that's how Trina feels. Like she needs somebody. I think Tawanda is maybe Tawanda might be the only one like that for her. We don't get to see that, but I still feel like she needs more than just Tawanda, because I feel like Tawanda is emotionally detached for some reason. I get that from her when I see her in the confessionals. I'm just like, she's a little bit emotionally detached, and I feel like all of them are, because I feel like Tamar is definitely emotionally attached. Like she don't care about nobody but herself. She's too self-centered to care about anybody else. Tony is a little bit emotionally detached because she's so worried about her health and herself as well. So that makes a big factor. And I feel like Tawanda is emotionally detached because of the stuff that she had been through prior to all of this, and it kind of like drained the emotion out of her. So she can only give so much, and she can only give what she could give. So I just feel like Trina really needs somebody else, and I feel like this therapist is perfect for her because she's actually helping her tap into those emotions, and once you get them out, you can work through them. So she's packing, they packing because they're gonna go see about little Kev and see what's going on with little Kev to make sure. I'm sorry about that. She to see what's going on with little Kev and make sure that he is all right because they want to know why they can't get in contact with him. He didn't have his phone. Apparently, when he went in prison, he had his phone, but when he got out, they said that they didn't have. They gave the phone back to him, but they didn't. So he had to call them from like the producer's phone. Like it was a whole bunch of stuff, and I was just like, ooh, yeah. I just feel like the husband is really just going on this trip just to go. I don't think that he really cares enough about what's going on because he's saying that she's dodging the conversation about the session with the therapist and the family. And I'm just like, if you're not going to be emotionally there for her and you're going to beat her down emotionally and she can't grieve properly, then how the heck do you think that she's going to want to come to you and openly have a conversation with you? She's not going to want to do that. And I think that that's, oh, let me close this. I'm sorry. Yeah, she's not going to want to come to you and really sit and have an emotional conversation with you and be vulnerable and open to you if you make her feel like she cannot grieve these people that she's lost emotionally that she loved. So, yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't really like that at all. Tawanda is at home getting ready to leave for the Maryland trip, and the her kids want to go with her, because they want to make sure that little Kev is okay too. But she is not willing to take them. I just feel like they just doing an adult grown trip, and she don't want to take her kids. That's all. Yeah, that's really it. And that was really it for this episode. This was kind of like a cut and dry, quick episode for me, but I just felt like we needed to focus on the dynamics between Trina and her husband. And I don't think Trina could see it, but I don't think that her husband really is on. I don't know. I can't really make heads or tails about her husband. I just feel like he is a sneaky little one that you got to watch out for because he probably makes her feel guilty behind closed doors, and he kind of like doesn't allow her to properly, like, he's one of those guys. He seems like one of those guys to me that just want to keep her all to himself and don't want her to be privy and part of nobody else. He just wants her emotionally, physically, like all of that to himself. That's what he seems like to me. I don't know. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. I just feel like he was dead wrong for not allowing her to properly grieve, whether it be her sister or her ex-husband. Because she should be allowed to do that, regardless of how long it takes him to do that. Then takes her to do that. He needs to just be there for her so that she can properly grieve her family. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.